What's going on, guys? MariK here, and with the Star Wars Battlefront collection less than 2 weeks away, I thought this would be a good time to discuss map strategies. For those of you who haven't had the chance to play the original Battlefront online or haven't played since the original servers were shut down. So in these videos, we'll be taking a look at the layouts to each map and going over different strategies that you can take for each of the various factions. When playing on Cloud City, there are 6 distinct command posts. The Empire and the droids start with control of the forward flank and the walkway, while the clones and the Rebel Alliance start with the rear entrance and the rear flank. The courtyard starts out uncontested and is an easy enough command post to take over, but it doesn't really grant your faction any advantages when it comes to map control. And the carbon freezing chamber is just absolutely useless. It's probably one of the worst, if not the worst, command post to have in really all of the game. There's no reason to go down there. You are constantly having to go uphill to get out of that command post from the 2 entrance/exits. And again, it just doesn't grant you any advantage on the map whatsoever. When playing as the Empire or the droids, I always spawn at the walkway and head straight towards the rear flank. Aside from being able to scoop up some early kills, it is probably the most important command post for you to take as these factions, because it will grant your team control of all 3 of the command posts that have the high ground and overlook the courtyard command post. It also gives you a great vantage point for looking down at the entrance, or one of the entrances, the main entrance to the carbon freezing chamber. And as they already have the low ground trying to come out of that command post, it just grants you an even better vantage point and really allows you to take advantage of the command posts on the map. You do have to be careful trying to take this command post, though, because they are constantly respawning in it. So all you have to do is get them out of it and just take control of it. It is a difficult one to take because aside from them spawning in the command post, they are also running up at you from the rear entrance as well, and crossing over the walkway, or, well, specifically crossing over this bridge, the walkway being an actual command post. And then once you have control of this command post, if they have the courtyard, you're able to see this command post and you can fire down on it from above. You can also see where all of the enemy are located down at the entrance to the carbon chamber. It is hard to really take advantage of having the high ground outside of playing as a sniper class, or possibly even playing as a rocket class. I don't know what happened there. And then from here, I usually just attempt to take the rear entrance. A lot of times they will walk up this ramp from the spawn point, and a lot of times they will stay down on ground level. They'll walk around the long way over towards the entrance to the chamber, where they'll just kind of hang out in the courtyard. Obviously, real players are going to be a little more intelligent, but I feel like these are still the best command posts to try and take, because having that high ground vantage point is probably the most detrimental thing, in my opinion, when playing on this map. When playing as these factions, I usually don't actually try to take the rear entrance. I usually just come over here and I'll try and kill them from above. You can stay in this room at the top of the ramp, and there is both a health and ammo droid that you can kind of just sit there and replenish your your health and ammo with at all times, except in the case where they have lobbed a grenade in here and actually destroyed it. It's almost as if the AI doesn't intentionally, like they know. But I assume a lot of times players will do the same thing just to prevent you from doing exactly what I am doing right now. When playing as the clones and the rebels, I follow the same strategy. I just reverse it, starting with the rear flank and heading towards the walkway. Again, you want to take that command post from them as soon as possible so that you can gain that high ground advantage for your team. It is a little bit harder to do because the droidecas are really good at holding choke points, and so a lot of times that's why when I play this map I like to use the jet trooper so that I can kind of clear them out quickly enough. Ow. It does help when your team doesn't shoot you in the back. Whoa. One of the weaknesses to this strategy is that the enemy can shoot you from this little observatory area over here. So you just have to be very situationally aware of your surroundings. When heading towards the forward flank, this command post can be a little hectic to take. And with a ammo droid over here to the right side of this hallway, it's almost easier to just kind of kill them as they spawn in there instead of attempting to take it for yourself, because it is hard to get in there, and once you're in there, if the enemy happens to spawn on top of you, it is really hard to kind of get out of there unless you happen to see them spawn and you kill them as they're appearing. The other great thing about the jet trooper is that he allows you to get out of that command post really quickly before things get out of hand. Now, once the AI or another player join you in the command post, then it's a little easier and a little safer to attempt to take it. But before that happens, it's a very risky game to play. And then once you've taken that command post, it's just kind of hunting season at that point, because you can just shoot down on the courtyard from above, and since you already start with the rear entrance on the other side, it leaves the enemy with only the chamber, which gives them a huge disadvantage on the map, and then the courtyard, which again gives them a very big disadvantage, and really no way to get out of it, because if they're playing as the droids, there's really not much they can do except attempt to make a big push towards one of the other command posts and hope that they can make their way up to the upper area. When it comes to the Empire, on the other hand, though, they can use the jetpack from the Dark Trooper and attempt to get behind enemy lines and take one of these command posts. So you will have to be careful about that. Although the Dark Trooper isn't the best class, if the blast cannon shots are accurate enough, if the RNG for that spread is in your favor, then, or is in their favor rather, then they can easily take you out and take over that command post. So we've got the high ground over there, we've got the high ground here, and over there as well, and there's really not much that the enemy faction can do from here. Regardless of which faction you choose to play as, Cloud City always promises to be one of the best maps to play on. And that's going to be it for our strategic map overview of Bespin Cloud City. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection comes out in just 2 weeks, so we hope to see you on the Battlefront.